They didn't break him in one day, they broke him one compromise at a time. In a traveling circus, there lived a lion. He was not largest in size, nor the most aggressive by nature, but when he roared, the entire tent trembled beneath the weight of its sound. Children gasped in awe, men instinctively straightened their backs, and even the trainer paused for a brief second before lifting his whip. That roar was not noise, it was identity. One evening, after the show, the circus owner sat alone in his velvet chair, watching the empty ring with narrowed eyes. That lion is becoming a problem, he muttered. The trainer looked confused. He performs well, the crowd loves him. Yes, the owner replied coldly, but they love him for the wrong reason. He performs like he belongs to himself. And that was the problem. The audience did not clap because of the tricks. They clapped because of the presence behind the tricks. They clapped because of the roar. And the owner did not like sharing power. The next morning, the trainer entered the lion's cage with unusual calmness. From today, he said, avoiding direct eye contact, you will not roar during the show. If you do, there will be consequences. The lion stared back in confusion. Roaring was not rebellion, it was instinct. It was breath shaped into truth. That night, under the harsh lights and loud music, the lion jumped through rings of fire, balanced carefully on a stool, and followed every single with perfect discipline. But he did not roar. The applause was polite, softer than before. The owner leaned back and smiled. Better, he whispered. Days passed, and something inside the tent began to shrink. The lion felt it first. The trainer returned again with another instruction. When you look at the crowd, he said quietly, they feel challenged. Lower your eyes, do not stare at them. The lion obeyed. He performed each act flawlessly, but he kept his gaze on the ground and his presence folded inward. The applause grew thinner. The owner grew more satisfied. A week later, another command followed. You will no longer enter the stage. Standing tall, walk in quietly, head lowered, make yourself smaller. The lion obeyed again. The more that once framed his pride now fell forward as his posture bent. His steps became softer, cautious, almost apologetic. The children, who once gasped now, watched without expression, but still the owner felt unsettled. He's too calm, the owner said one night. He looks as if he remembers who he is. The trainer sighed nervously. What do you want now? The owner voice hardened, filed his teeth. The trainer hesitated. He has never bitten anyone. I know, the owner replied, but I do not like knowing that he could. When they brought the tools, the lion did not resist. He had already surrendered his roar. He had lowered his gaze. He had bent his posture. What was left to defend? The grinding sound echoed through the small cage, and something inside him dulled along the teeth. The shows continued. Now the lion performed perfectly. There was no roar, no eye contact, no visible threat. Only moment, one evening, as he leaped through the final ring, a small boy in front row tugged at his father's sleeve and asked, Is that really a lion? The question did not reach the crowd, but it reached him. For the first time in months, something stirred inside his chest. It was not anger, it was memory. That night, the owner visited the cage himself. I have made a final decision, he said smoothly. From tomorrow, cut his man. Make him look cleaner and less wild. The trainer froze. That is unnecessary. The owner shrugged. I prefer control over risk. The lion slowly lifted his eyes, and for a brief second, the trainer saw something that had been missing for months, for weeks. He had surrendered piece after piece, his voice, his presence, his strength. Now they were reaching for the last visible symbol of who he was. The owner mistook that rising gaze for submission and turned to leave. Behind him, a vibration began, low at first, then deeper, then undeniable. The trainer stepped back, the owner slowly turned around. The lion stood taller than he had in months, his shoulders rising, his chest expanding as if he had finally remembered how to breathe. And then he roared. He did not roar for the audience, he did not roar for the dominance, he roared for himself. Tent shook dust from the ceiling and moved beyond the canvas walls into the silent night. For a single moment, everyone present remembered what he truly was. The owner's face lost its color, put him down, he whispered, but the trainer did not move because that roar carried no aggression, it carried truth. The next morning, the circus announced that the lion had become too dangerous to keep. They sold him to a wildlife reserve far away. The owner told everyone it was a business decision, but those who had heard the roar knew it was something else. Years later, visitors to the reserve would sometimes pause when a powerful sound roared across the open land, wild and unrestrained. It was not trained, it was not controlled, it was real. And when someone once asked the old trainer why the lion had risked everything that night, he answered quietly, "They can take your comfort, they can take your safety, they can take even your future, but if you give them your identity, there is nothing left to protect." Operation rarely begins with chains, it begins with small compromises disguised as obedience. Speak a little softer, stand a little smarter, hide a little strength. Piece by piece, you shrink until even you forget what you once were. Never lose your identity to make someone else comfortable, because surviving as something smaller than you are is a quieter death than in age.